welcome to your outlet for the outdoors and Western lifestyle news, The Bend Show. I am your host, Rebecca Warner, aka Beck, and as always, we love hearing from all of you. Comments, stories, ideas. Get a hold of us anytime. Call or text 305-900-BEND. That is 305-900-2363. Or you can always drop us an email at bendradioshow@gmail.com. Riding alongside, as always, is my shotgun co-host, as well as producer and sound engineer, Jeff Tigger Earhart.
I'm riding shotgun, not I am your shotgun.
Well,
just point of clarity.
Wait, in some ways, if we look back on this last year, which is kind of what we're going to do with this show, is a recap of 2023, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I got to say, the ugly part of it is we went pheasant hunting a number of times, and I did not connect. Hence, yes,
that's
you
where
are
you're getting at. I was your
my shotgun. Yes, and
your backup.
And no, it is even funny. I don't think we even shared this during the season. It was kind of a funny tale, is that every year we go out to Tigger's family, out to his ranch, and his dad is very proud, as he should be, of the amazing pheasant population that Tigger and his dad have been able to develop out there. It's quite the program. And it's also kind of a laugh at me, because I do tend to tout and think that I'm a dang good shot, I'll be honest. But I have been proven wrong this last season, as yes, I did not connect on any of the birds. I even had a nephew go, "How could you miss that?"
Well, I think what you're getting at is any tail feather would have been longer than your tail feather.
Pretty much, exactly. Boom. And got a good chuckle out of Tigger's dad when he took it upon himself to make sure that I did get a rooster. However, what I was given as a gift was a rubber rooster. So there we have it. I joked about the good, the bad, and the ugly. However, I gotta say, it really isn't that ugly, because anytime you can spend time out in the field with those that you care about, you love, and enjoy, and then look back at those memories and chuckle at them like I got a rubber rooster, you know, that's what it's all about, if you ask me. Now for the good. Here is a fun interview we had earlier in the year. Tigger, take it away.
Welcome back to the Bend Radio Show. Beck asked me to jump in on this one and share a great conversation that I had a friend with ours. We call him Cheech. It's Chris Holznagel out of North Dakota. And when we talk about hunting or fishing or any of these excursions, one thing that Beck talks about a lot is creating the memory, and time is the big one, worth more than anything. But creating that memory with the people that we love, with those family members of ours, and in many times creating and making all sorts of new friends. And that's what happened with Cheech. Had the opportunity. I love Cheech. He is a good egg, this guy. Now, he had the opportunity to go on his first buffalo hunt. And when it sprang in his lap, he said absolutely, and it created some wonderful memories.
About a month or so ago, a friend on Facebook shared this deal about a guy selling buffalo hunts, and called my dad up thinking, well, heck, you know, this could be something he wanted to go do. And he called me back, said, well, I've already shot a buffalo in my life. He's like, so why don't we go down and you get one? So we decided we purchased the hunt and got a hold of Antler J Outfitters down there in Shatter, Nebraska. That's where we hunted, and talked to Josh there. His name is Josh Miller, real good guy. Had a lot of fun with him, and so we took off down there. And the scenario of the story is there's a buffalo ranch right next to the Pine Ridge Reservation there. They had about 400 buffalo they were raising at one time. About 2 years ago, they rounded everything up that they could and got out of the buffalo business. Well, there's been about 40 head still running around they could never catch. They could never get them rounded up, never anything. So they decided, well, just sell hunts on them. So went down there, and it took us hour and a half to go find them, find out where they were, because like I said, they could kind of just go wherever they wanted to.
Tell me a little bit, because I know you used, it was a Remington 700 chambered in a 30-06. There's a little bit of a story behind this, because I think and I don't have your Facebook post up, but I think you said it's kind of a little bit of a bittersweet situation using that particular firearm. What was that about?
So that Remington 700 I used was a Remington 700 and a mountain rifle chambered in a 30-06. It was actually my uncle's rifle, and it was my uncle that I worked for many years and was very close with. He's actually my godfather. He passed away in December suddenly, and I asked his family if I could use his rifle for this hunt because it was something he would have probably just jumped in and went along with and done. So I kind of decided I may have a lot of guns around, but I kind of decided I wanted to use his instead to take a piece of him with us to go on this hunt. So that's what I used to harvest my buffalo.
Was that on your bucket list, or did it just kind of happen to put everything together and you said, well, by golly, I'm going to go on a buffalo hunt with Dad?
Yeah, bucket list item. I mean, yeah, you can draw tags for him here and there, but with this being the person, I guess you call it domestic hunt. It's like, well, how many chances in your life are you going to be able to go do this? So we booked it and decided we're going to go do it. It's like, well, heck, it's a lot. You get all the meat and everything, so it's good meat. And we decided to do it. I actually, like I said, I really wanted to do it. The other goofy thing with the story is, so I got a hold of Josh down there at Antler J and booked the hunt on a Sunday, and that following Monday I broke my ankle.
Oh, no.
So I've been, so it's like, man, I'm not missing this hunt. So I've been kind of hobbling around and getting it done that way.
I got a question for you because it's buffalo, and I've eaten a lot of buffalo. Do you know the secret to preparing this stuff?
So my dad has shot a buffalo before years ago. We had the hump, the hump, we cut that off before we quartered it. He slow cooked that thing in a crock pot, and it tasted dang good.
Yeah, I've eaten a lot of buffalo. It's really good eating, but a little bit different cooking because, like you said, it's very lean, and so because of that, it's kind of like that slow cooking with it. But we found, at least with us, is take that off a little bit sooner than you normally would because that meat kind of keeps cooking. And, just like you do when you make a good steak, you want to let it rest for a while, right? And we found that is definitely what we needed to do with buffalo, but loved it. I mean, we've eaten a lot of buffalo and bought several over the years, and it's part of our diet, and I think it's great stuff. So congratulations on a heck of a good hunt. So now, are you going to get a mount done? Are you going to put it in the house? Have you talked to the missus about that yet?
So I shot a cow, about a 6-year-old cow is what we figure I shot. She actually had one really good horn and then one horn that was kind of broken off, so she's kind of unique, kind of looked neat. I'm actually getting the European done, put in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She's kind of gotten used to all the dead animals I bring home. So,
and I would assume that you're giving a thumbs up all the way around to Antler J Outfitting that just were wonderful people to work with, and you would say, absolutely, I recommend them 1,000%.
Yeah. Josh was great to deal with. They do deer hunts and stuff like that too. And the one thing I really liked about it is, like, you see something on Facebook about a hunt, you're like, take a chance. He was really good about getting back to me and answering questions and everything. And just, we had a really good time with him.
And they say that, on a lot of these outfitting hunts, and that's the good thing where you say Josh called you and asked questions because, for a lot of people, it is maybe a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. For you, it was super cool. One, you had a busted-up ankle, but then two, you got to use your rifle that was your uncle's. So there's a lot of emotion that's tied up in this, and that's really great when those outfitters, they call to make sure that it's a right fit for you, for what you're wanting to do. I mean, because there is a financial investment to it, not just the actual hunt itself, but then, we got processing, and if you want to do, you're doing a European mount, and all those things start to add up, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So that's great when outfitters, they take the time to visit with you to make sure it's a right match.
Yeah, and so we're processing ourselves, but he had a processor if we needed it. He had all that ducks in a row for maybe guys that usually, or gals, guys or gals that, go do this thing and they, don't want to process themselves. It's like he had all that available if you needed it. He was real good that way too. And so, yeah, it was fun. I would definitely recommend doing it. I think last I talked to him, I think they still got a few hunts left for this year, and there may be some next year. We just have to contact them, but yeah, he was real good.
Cheech, it was great talking to you. Y'all need to head to our Facebook page, The Ben Show, and check out this picture of Cheech and this great buffalo that he was able to tag with being all busted up, by the way, that he mentioned in that interview. And we got to give a big shout out to Antler J Outfitting that Cheech mentioned in this interview that said treated him right. And not just treated him right, but treated him like family and making this a memory that's going to last a lifetime. Don't be afraid to ask your questions. Talk to those outfitters and to make sure that it is a right fit for you and actually the right time of year and that everything comes into place, because when it does, it is a memory of a lifetime, and that's what happened to Cheech, a.k.a. Chris Holznagel. Thank you so much for the time, Cheech, and that is a great trophy that you got there. So now stick around, crew. We've got a lot more of the Bend Radio Show that's coming up right after this.
The hunt is planned, the guide is booked, the trip is blocked off in the calendar, but one huge detail remains, preserving that trophy, creating a memory that will last a lifetime. Little Rack Taxidermy has that fast, friendly service to fulfill your taxidermy in a timely, professional manner. Reach out to Heather with Little Rack Taxidermy through Facebook at Little Rack Taxidermy or send an email to heatherjoe23@hotmail.com. Little Rack Taxidermy, bringing back the natural look.
Shooting ducks, skinning bucks, I'm a hunting princess in a pickup truck.
The holidays are around the corner, and finding that thoughtful gift is always the goal. We have the perfect idea for you. Meet author Rochelle Barrett, The Prairie Crocus.
I welcome you to my world, a collection of poems, love notes, and essays about ranch life, motherhood, and life lessons from the prairie in my new book, Anthology, and 2024 Ranch Life Calendar. Order both today at prairie-crocus.com.
Beautiful photos with words that speak to the heart and soul. Prairie-crocus.com, turning thoughts into writings from the heart. A perfect gift in time for the holidays. You've waited, dreamt of a hunting adventure, and now have harvested that trophy of a lifetime. Keep the memory alive with a custom-designed mount, preserved as a work of art. Check out our approved taxidermist depending on your location. The award-winning Schneider Taxidermy is located in Helena, Montana. When hunting the Dakotas, JB's Wildlife Designs in Mandan, North Dakota. Then Shadwin Creek Taxidermy in Nebraska. And for the Central USA, Little Rack Taxidermy in Macomb, Illinois. Reach out to The Ben Show and let us help you find the right taxidermist. Welcome back to The Ben Show, your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle news. I am your host, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck. Now, you just heard one of Tigger's memorable stories that he shared with you. Now, here is one of mine. While I was on one of my recent Catch Beck If You Can adventures, yes, Tigger and I are both PRCA Pro rodeo personnel, and it takes us to some great rodeos, which leads to meeting some amazing individuals paving the way in the rodeo world. Well, this trip was no different, and it took us in two different directions. Tigger went one way, I went the opposite. Well, while I was walking back to the truck after a recent performance that I was at with my nephew Hank pointed out, surprised to see us parked beside the current PRCA World Saddle Bronc leader, Sage Newman. Quickly, yes, you can guess, I realized this was a moment to keep my status as Crazy Aunt Beck while making this young cowboy's day a day to remember. We went over to the group of cowboys who were laughing, relaxing now after wrapping up a day of tough competition. Sage Newman was the first cowboy to stand up, stretch his hand out, shake both of ours while taking off his hat, and immediately grabbed Hank's cowboy hat and asked him if he'd like it signed, and then began passing it around to the other saddle bronc riders and striking up a great conversation, preceding us to lead into inviting Sage Newman to be on the show here today. Sage Newman hails from Melstone, Montana, and as mentioned previously, is currently leading the world in the saddle bronc standings. On the road to making his third Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, the NFR, yes, that's what we're talking about, appearance in saddle bronc. Sage, we are thoroughly enjoying watching you in the arena, making outstanding rides. How did you get your start in rodeo?
So I'm from Melstone, Montana, and I grew up in a ranch and rodeo family. My grandpa Rodney, he had a rodeo company, so I grew up going to rodeos my whole life. And we grew up on a family ranch. So yeah, when I'm not rodeoing, I'm home. You know, we have some cows and horses, and yeah, that's what I keep busy doing when I'm not rodeoing. I love being horseback and just out in the middle of nowhere with a good horse and a couple good dogs.
I like it how you said the dogs. Tigger's going to love that because he's a border collie trainer himself. What kind of dogs are you using?
Yeah, this border collie is the only way to go there.
Oh, you just won Tigger and about everybody else that loves him and his border collies. You said about working on the ranch and such like that. There's something about getting out and doctoring calves in the wide open, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. I love rodeo and the traveling, but when I can just get away and go home and get in the middle of nowhere, like I say, and it's just a peaceful place. And yeah, being able to go out doctor yearlings or it's moving pairs or whatever. It's just it's a great place. And yeah, I'm blessed to live the life I do, and I'm happy.
So the rodeo world keeps you very busy and on the road. Curious, do you ever get homesick?
Like I say, yeah, I love rodeo and I love the traveling, but I love being home too. I'm kind of a homebody, so like when I have a chance to go home, I do go home because there's no better place than being home. And I love being, like I say, being home, doing what I actually love other than rodeo. I love rodeo first, and then after that, I'm ranching and riding horses and having fun doing that.
So when you decide the day comes, this may no longer be in the arena. You're not chasing the 8-second ride. Nobody ever wants to think ahead to that. Do you already kind of have an idea of what route you're going to go? Is it going to be back to the ranch? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'll probably be ranching, but I'm probably going to still do something with rodeo. I kind of want to get a few bucking horses together, maybe have a little bit of my own bucking string. So yeah, that's kind of my idea, and hopefully I have a little longer time here in the rodeo world. But yeah, after that, I'll definitely be something in the Western world, that's for sure.
That's terrific. All right, so now the outdoorsy side of Beck, because I like doing elk hunting in Montana, Wyoming. It's a joke. Sage, you don't know this, but everyone says catch Beck if you can. You don't know where I'm going to pop up. So do you enjoy and get out and enjoy some of the outdoors world too?
Oh yeah, I love the hunting. I love archery hunting, elk hunting, all that. There's nothing better than listening to one bugle, 100 yards from you, 50 yards from you, and it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. But when I'm sitting good here in the saddle bronc riding in the world, I can kind of sneak off in September and go home and do some hunting. That's always my goal. So yeah, I love hunting. I love the outdoors. I love being outside. Nothing better.
That's terrific. You're looking at somebody that absolutely has been watching the calendar on that one there. I got to say, there's a lot of people I've gotten to meet in the world. Sage, you're one of the most humblest. I've been following you for a very long time, but it's nice to finally sit down and meet you one-on-one. And there's something I got to say about this man. He stands up, takes his hat off, has no problem signing anything for any youth that comes along. What does that do for you? Because you're giving me the image of what a cowboy should be doing. And where did you get that from?
I don't know, probably my family. We're all pretty honest people, and I just we all put our pants on the same way as everybody else. So, and I was in the same spot as all these kids were at one time. I looked up to people and wanted to be just like them. So, when somebody comes up to me and wants an autograph or something signed, I'm gonna do it because I loved when somebody did that for me. So yeah, I just like being a good guy in the arena and outside the arena.
And now that his summer is wrapping up, heading into fall, it sure is looking like Sage and Newman may have enough of a lead with Stetson Wright second and Zeke Thurston third in the standings to take just a bit of time off to chase some bull elk and fling a few arrows. Thank you again, Sage, for jumping on the show today.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
Crew, now just to give you a little bit of an update how Sage Newman ended his 2023 season. He did all right, if you ask us. He did qualify for the third time for the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo that was held in December out in Vegas, and he ended up in second as a second place in the world standings. But you gotta admit, that's not a bad way to end one heck of a run he had this last year. And as he moves into 2024, we will definitely continue to keep cheering on this cowboy, hunter, and great role model for the Western way of life. Stick around. We've got our final thoughts for the year just around the bend. We'll be right back. Are the Florida Keys calling your name? Have you dreamed of catching exotic mahi-mahi, red snapper, sailfish, grouper? Blue Water Girl Charters can fulfill your dreams of saltwater fishing excitement. Book today, full or half-day charters. Let Blue Water Girl Charters make your dreams a reality. Blue Water Girl Charters. Follow on Facebook for booking and more information. Blue Water Girl Charters. Catch dinner and memories.
Before you head to the next rodeo, a concert, maybe a gathering on or off the ranch, we head to Medora Boot and Western Wear.
Tigger and Beck here for Medora Boot and Western Wear. Latest Western fashion in boots, jackets, and hats.
From durable ranch wear to keeping the horses in sturdy tack, visit medoraboot.com to order.
Or better yet, plan to visit Medora, North Dakota and shop Medora Boot and Western Wear.
Again, go to medoraboot.com. You can follow on Facebook and tell them Tigger and Beck sent you.
This is Beck. First, I appreciate all of you for listening and making The Bend part of your week. Many of you have asked, how do I catch past episodes? The answer is super easy. Head to thebendshow.com and click on the shows tab. There you can listen to every episode all the way back to episode 1. Podcasters, head to your favorite podcasting app and search The Bend. You'll find us. Be sure to follow and subscribe and never miss another episode again. Welcome back to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle news, The Bend Show. I am your host, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck, and riding along shotgun is my co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. Now we are all about to ring in the new year of 2024, which means you may be setting some resolutions, right? But how do we go about setting up some realistic resolutions that will have you feeling satisfied, like you've achieved them, and at the end of the year, this time next year, you look back and smile and say, yep, I did it. Well, here are some tips I have for you. Sometimes people joke about the acronym SMART, S-M-A-R-T, SMART, as in SMART goals. They use it a lot in the business world, but it also can be applied to the adventurous side of life as well. First off is, what goal do you have? What do you think of when you think of adventure and something you want to do this year? The first key to it is S in SMART means specific. Figure out specifically what you want to do this year. Is it try kayaking? Is it go to a national park you've never been to? Be specific. The next one, measurable. SM, now we're on the letter M, measurable. How are you going to be able to do this? Is it something that you can realistically achieve this year? That is kind of the food for thought to get you going. And that's how the word achievable, A as in SMART, falls into it. You might have to do a reality check. Can the checkbook actually afford it? I hate to bring that up, but that is one to realistically be looking at. How much will this cost? How many people will it involve? Is it something that is timely, like we heard about earlier, the buffalo hunt, where maybe you have to make sure you have your reservations put in ahead of time? That's why we're bringing this up now to do it. And then R in the word SMART stands for relevant. Will it achieve that adventure you're seeking in your life goals? Will it fulfill what you're hoping to do in this next year? Now, the last word is T as in time. See how we've now spelled out the word SMART? Time. Do you have the time to do said adventure, or is this just a pie high in the sky dream? Do you have time in the next year? Can you put in for the vacation time to do it? And as I said a little bit earlier, how does it fit into time schedules? As I used an example, if you have to apply for a tag or something for some kind of special hunt, for example, elk hunt, those kinds of big games, sometimes you really have to watch the calendar. So there you go. I'm advising you or suggesting that you look about this New Year's resolution from a SMART standpoint and find yourself something that will fulfill you, give you memories, and make it lasting and feel rewarding. So at the next time this year comes around and you're about to ring in the new year, you're smiling from ear to ear. And we're going to call this show Wrapped for 2023. Thank you to my producer, sound engineer, co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart, as well as the many guests that jumped on this show throughout this last year. We couldn't be here without you, as well as we couldn't be here without all of you listeners. Thank you for riding along with us. It's hard to believe this is our 165th episode, and we'll be kicking off the new year with season 4 of The Bend Show. Remember, folks, to keep sending in any questions you might have. If you know of anything spa-worthy for us to share, a recipe we need to test out in our very own cabin kitchen, as well as your area's field reports, that number again is 305-900-2363. Again, you can call or text anytime, 305-900-2363, or you can always email bendradioshow@gmail.com. If you missed part of this show or want to hear past shows, you can find them all on the website, thebendshow.com. And be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app and to The Ben Show YouTube channel. Looking to change things up at your next event, conference, or awards banquet? Have us, Tigger and Beck, entertain your crowd in 2024. Yes, we are PRCA Pro Rodeo card holders, where Tigger is a pro rodeo announcer, and we are PRCA music directors. From MCs to event headliners, public speakers, we can make your gathering extra special. We cover everything from ranching, cattle, hunting, fishing, camping, anything in the outdoors, as well as rodeo. Try having us spice up your next upcoming event, Tigger and Beck. Thank you to our partners, Ditali Outdoors, The Prairie Crocus, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Blue Water Girl Charters, Buckstorm, Little Rack Taxidermy, Mickey's Mustard, ToxicCalls.com, Wabble Creek Outfitters, Atlas Tracks, RFD TV, and Wrangler. Finally, a big thanks to all of you listeners out there that came along with us in 2023. We're looking forward to ringing in the new year in 2024 with you all. And whether you're coming or going today, stay with us as we ranch it up. And remember to keep up with me, Beck, all week long by following The Bend on Facebook and on Instagram at The Bend Show. This is Rebecca Warner. Catch Beck if you can next year on The Bend.